Welcome guys to another video. This is a very first for me, an unboxing of an airsoft gun. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're new, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye. Anyway, here is my unboxing of the... Let me just do this. It might be easier if I do it this way. Right. Go. And this is the Gen 2 Lancer Tactical gun that I've got about a week ago now. So firstly, inside you get documents from the place you get it from about coverage, terms and conditions, and obviously a receipt for how much it was. And then there is inside of this, you have two stickers, as you can see here, one with a red bit and one with a yellow. They can go on, say for instance, if you've got a metal case to carry your gun, that's where they can go. Still trying to get this angle right. So that's where they can go, which I haven't got yet. I will end up getting one, so I'll keep these along with my Wayland Utali ones I got. And then you get this little card here, which shows you the handgun and another certain gun that they've got going on at the minute. Up here you'll see the writing for it: Enforcer, Blackbird and Nightshade. So that's obviously going to be the Blackbird, the handgun, and then the Enforcer should be this gun here. By the way, if you're not noticed, this is only a toy gun. It's only for airsoft. It's nothing real. And then on the back of that, you get your target. I would suggest with this target here, and obviously this bit here, I would photocopy a good couple of times, even if it can be on card. Do that, because you're going to want to practice shooting to get your sights zeroed in on it and everything like that. I'll go into more detail about sights and zeroing in a little while. They give you two instruction manual. One is for Europe, so that will have the like German and all other languages in Europe in this one. And then you're given a UK one to understand. And as you can see, these are the guns they're doing in Gen 2 right now. So my one is the LTO2 series. So it's this one just here, which is a really decent gun to be fair. There's lots of different ones there you've got, depending on the person, depending on the gameplay they're going to do. And inside obviously you've got information on what you need to do, and then they've given you schematics of what's in the gun and everything like that. I have wondered if this is a quick release. I'm not 100% sure if it is. Transporting, it tells you about, also tells you about eye protection, dangers of being mistaken for an actual firearm, trigger control, firearm hazards, warning and care, and the orange tip. Unfortunately, mine doesn't have an orange tip, which is fine because you now have to have a sock on your gun when you go to certain sites. Like the one I'll be going to, you need a sock for it. So then you've got the parts diagram here. Tells you everything you need to know about depending on what gun you're rolling. So my one is this one down here, and then obviously I've got a foregrip. Yeah, there's different information here about certain ones of the guns that they're actually doing. So what I showed you on the front here tells you more in depth about them. Yeah, what the FPSs are. For instance, that is feet per second, by the way, if you're new to obviously airsoft and everything like that. Then you go here and it tells you the battery installation, which I'll show you more in depth after. and then obviously front installation, which is your triggers. If you have a front battery installation as well, then mags, it teaches you everything about your mags, and then your selector switch. And we go to hop up system. So the hop up is where you control the velocity of it going up or down, obviously, and depending on the site, depending like where you go and play, I mean by site, how far distance it is. Obviously these guns can only reach so far no matter what, but it tells you in depth of everything you need to worry about, what the best position is. If you're firing it too high, that means it's got too much hop up, or too low means not enough hop up for it to go in the best position. And then disassembly the hop up barrel and gearbox. Shows you here what you would need to do for each step. Obviously still hasn't pretty much told me if this is a quick release, but I'm sure I'll find out. How to clean your gun out thoroughly, and also how to dislodge any BBs that get stuck. And then troubleshooting is obviously the back one. It also has a, I can't even remember what that is called right now, but hey ho. And then there's some information here as well about the dangers and everything, but this, if I'm not mistaken, should have been put on a European one, but that's fine. We don't judge. So that's the instructions and everything like that. Put these back in nice and safe. And we get on to actually what's in the box in a minute. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. The instructions are very important. Always keep hold of them. Not like I've done in the past. So the next thing they give you is a free pack of BBs. And they start off at 20 grams. Yeah, so 0.20. Then it's 0.25s, 0.30s, and 0.40s. I don't know if there's anything higher than 40 at the minute. But depending, like for these guys, what they've done is they've told you, I'll show you on the box, they've told you what BB size, as in weights, they've used to chronos the gun, which I'll explain a little bit more as well, how you chronos the gun. I can't physically do it because I haven't got a chronos machine right now. But yeah, so you get BBs for free, obviously, which is always good. Then they give you a what is called a smart charger. I wouldn't suggest using this. I will show you something that you can buy and use. The only reason I wouldn't suggest using this is you have to know how many hours you have to put the battery on, so you don't overpower it or underpower it. So it does explain a little bits in the leaflet that you get from whatever shop you buy. Well, where I brought my gun anyway. And then obviously here is your foregrip. I'll just put it there for a minute. I'll get everything out now. Battery and the BB cleaner. Then the bit you all want to see really is the gun. So this is the gun. This is the gun. As you can see, it comes with, this is what you would clean your gun and remove BB. So this side here is where you'd put a bit of cloth in, certain cloth, to clean off your gun barrel inside. And then this one would be to dislodge any BBs that get stuck or trapped, obviously, within the mag loader. And that is very important to always check. It comes with an attention sticker on the side. I wouldn't suggest removing that. If you're going to remove it, put it somewhere else. It's always good to know. So that's that bit. So we got our battery as well. This came with a battery and obviously the charger. Like I said before, I'll show you a different charger you can use, which I believe is okay. I will be upgrading eventually. And here, sorry, 2 seconds. There you go. And this is your foregrip, obviously, that you're given. So here you'd slide it on to where you wanted it, sort of thing, wherever it is. So on first inspection, this is your selector. Yeah, for obviously if you want to go semi is just literally one shot, keep tapping, and then you've got full auto. That means it will just constantly go until your magazine is either empty or you have to wind it up. I'll explain the magazine after. I've got to grab it actually. So as you can see, this is where the hop up would be. So to gain access to the hop up, just here is a lever, pull it back and it unlocks that bit there. To look at the hop up, there you go. As you can see, it's plastic. My other gun I've got, which I'll show after, is metal. It's better to have metal, to be honest. It lasts a lot better. But you just always pull the release there, pull it back when you've finished making your adjustments. Just lock it up like that. This, I'm not sure what it's actually called. I can't lie. I've always wondered what that is. There's your mag release button. And here is obviously your stock. So you can adjust it by 1, 2, or 3, depending how tall you are, how long your arm is compared to your comfortability, obviously. Right? Now, at the front of the gun, obviously you have your barrel, which you can just undo, and you can put silencers or a tracer unit on this. Unfortunately, I haven't got a tracer unit or a silencer to show you. Well, I have, it's a mate's, but I'm trying to fix it. So you just put it on and just wind it in. Never ever do it too tight though. Reason that is because it may rip obviously the two sections, one for where it tightens up obviously. This is obviously your iron sight, so if you wanted, there you go, you could play iron sight, or you can get a scope, which I'll show you the scope that my son's going to be using for this. These are what you call I really can't remember now off the top of my head. I did have it earlier. These are safety guards, right? So if you don't want to have side attachments, you can leave that on. But I like to have them off. They're easy to come off. So as you can see here, you got this little clip. You push it upwards, and it should release it. It might be downwards. No, it's downwards for me. So if you don't want these, you just store them. But they're also good because they can go underneath or on top. It's just a hand guard basically. On the bottom here, as you can see, this is for your slings. So it's got a frontward one. I like the backward ones. You can actually add to the back. So what you'd do is you would remove your stock and you would put it here. And then obviously load it back up there. So I will be looking into that at some point. But obviously I need to let Daniel play with it a little bit, see how he likes it first. So yeah, to put the battery in, what you do, 2 prongs here, put them through, there you go. And as you can see right here is the connector for the battery. So where did I put the battery? I think I've just seen it. There it is. So what you do with the battery, do it twice like that, slot it in here and here like so. So just so you can see what I did actually. Yeah, in and there. Oh, sorry, 1 second. But in there, I slotted the batteries in. Yeah, and then connect the batteries like so together. One to the gun, obviously, and then the battery gives the gun the power. And stick this in nicely as you can, sort of thing. I know what I've done wrong. Give me a sec. Right, let's do that again so you can see. Slot one side there, that goes in. Right. And again, you attach. You put this bit in as far as you can, sort of thing. Yeah. Get like that. And then you get the back of your stock. And you connect it like so. I hope you can all see this. Just do it quick, then I'll show you. There you go, like so, right? Yeah. There is a protector bit you can put in there, but I don't suggest you do that. In my opinion, anyway. And there you go. You'll be locked and loaded. Obviously, then you put your magazine to start shooting it, but this is what it sounds like. So that's semi, and this is full auto. So yeah, it's a great bit of kit, this one. When I'm going to game day, hopefully I can show you guys exactly how it shoots. Unless you've got a private garden, of course. But I live in a council flat, so yeah, it's not wise for me to shoot it around. Don't fancy the armed police pulling up to my house with helicopters and everything like that. Don't think it'd be wise. So I'll put the gun down for a minute so I can show you guys exactly what attachments I'll be adding to the gun. So we have a couple bits here. So this first one is the sight, and this one here is for the 2 seconds, for the sling. Attach that bit to the gun, push over the protector like so, and then add that to your sling. And then this is, if you've ever played Rainbow Six Siege, they call them charms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to the gun on one side. I will show you after, to be a charm. And here is your sight. This is a one-time sight, red dot. So this is really good. You can get all different sights depending on what you want. There is a 3 times, there's 4 times, obviously, out there. I will show you a couple of other ones that I've got, actually. Give me a second, guys. Right. So I'm going to explain in detail each bit now. Obviously, you know about this. This is for the sling, which probably tomorrow I'm going to make another video of one of my kits, or all my kits that I've got. And you'll see how the slings sit, when I do it anyway. So obviously this is your red dot scope. This is another red dot scope, but this one is a little bit different, obviously. I can't remember the actual name for it. Wish I could. Batteries would go in here. Obviously you need your batteries to do what it needs to do. Hopefully I put them in the right way. There you go. Put them in wrong. I'm going to try my best to get the camera to see how it looks. Can't promise anything. The hell, man? Hmm. There we go. Maybe the batteries are dead. Anyway, so that's another scope I've got. So as I was saying about with the this charger you get with the gun, not the smartest one to use, obviously, unless you're very good at working out how many ohms it is to charge and how many hours, sort of thing. I'll show you on the sheet what it explains as soon. This is the one I've got. Oh, 2 seconds, I've got a door to answer. Right, I'm back. This is the one I've got. So one side will be green. When you push the button, it will go red until it's fully charged. Um, then you know it's fine. So as you can see, this has got a double adapter here. So I'll show you one of the battery I've got. And these batteries, oh my god, how do I forget the name of these? Is a LiPo battery. So as you can see, it's got a different connector, so it wouldn't fit. You have to really look into the gun and if it can handle a LiPo battery or not. Some of them can't because you need to get it upgraded for that. Um, you need to ask the shop. They will advise you if the gun can handle a lipo or not. As you can see, I've had to get a different attachment so I can put it on here, for example. I think it's this way. Yeah, there you go. So that would sit in there nicely. You can see, yeah. And from that, I can then put a lipo battery in. Some lipos won't need this connector. It just varies where you go for your batteries, but it is advised that you have more than one battery for a game day, only because when you first charge it, if you haven't got a lipo charger, I wouldn't suggest getting a lipo battery because lipo batteries are very good, but they have a risk of setting the light sometimes. So anyway, if you had to and your lipo had this connector, I would suggest asking about a different connector for it. Means I think one's called a Dean's connector. I can't remember what the other one's called. As you can see, these two lipos here can actually sit in there. I'm not sure how well they charge in on that because as you see, it's a no pro charger where these are not them actually batteries. So it's going to vary if it's going to charge it properly or not. One thing I would suggest though, when your gun is dying out, do not let the battery completely die off. So you'll hear it is slowly tire. It go dun dun dun. As soon as it starts doing that, unplug that battery, change up. If you haven't got another battery, some sites will have a charging area in the safe zone. So you'd have to miss whatever game you're playing there to charge your battery, depending how long is left on site or what kind of chargers they use, and obviously will vary as well. I would suggest when you go to the site, ask what chargers is there any chargers available that I can use? And obviously, if you're very new to airsoft, you can always ask them, like, if I'm charging a lipo, what's the best way of doing it? They'll explain everything. Obviously, they'll probably tell you to make sure you get a lipo battery charger, but for now, you can use their one on site for the time being, obviously. Um, so you'd end up at least having half a game day to a full game day of charge, depending how new your batteries are. All of them are new batteries there. The batteries I all had were dead because one, I let them die off too much, and two, they were really old batteries, to be honest. And as you can see on the bottom of this one, tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, how to turn it on to use it to make sure the battery does um what's it called, charge correctly. Yeah, it gives you the voltage as well, instructions on what each light is there as well. So that's for that gun. I've got two other guns, well, three other guns I could show you really. I don't know if you want to see them all, but this lot will be going on this gun specifically. This will probably go on one gun that I've got, because I want to do a 3x scope flick down, which when I get that I can actually show you what it looks like. So yeah, this gun is very good. I have tested it out at the range at the shop, and it really is good. Very precise, very accurate with iron sights, obviously. So when it comes to your scope, right? For instance, this one here, there's something which you'll hear a lot is zeroing in your scope. The way you do that is obviously you'd have the red dot come through. Yeah, you would see it one side, so you probably see it this side here. I might get a battery and see if you can see it. I don't think you're gonna though, and that's me being very honest. Give me a minute, and I'm going to show you what these two side bits mean as well. You'd untwist obviously the top bit first, put your battery in, and the way the battery goes in, that would, this side here with the lumpy bit would go in on top, and you'd see the name of the battery. You might want a Kodak, so depending on yourself how long you want them to last. I tend to have the Kodaks because each game day I would go, I would just change up the battery for the whole day. Right, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the laser at all. Yeah, it's a green laser if you can see it there. I'll try and change it to the red. Right, there it is. If you can see the red laser here, it's my hand. Yeah. So you can go green or red with this one. Um, some sites now that are coming out will have green, red, and blue. Unfortunately, you can't think of these like COD, where you can have different colours and everything like that, right? They don't quite work like that, unfortunately, right now. I'm sure something will come out one day. So these are what you would use to zero in. Yeah, so the top one is for the up and down. Yeah, so when you're looking through the sight, you'll see the red dot and you'll line it up to where the bullet is hitting straight. You do that with single fire only. This side is for your left and right to move it left or right. Um, it's suggested when you do this, I'm not sure how, but obviously I don't know the range you'd want to maybe zero this in. I'm still trying to zero this in, which will have to wait until game day now. Hope everyone's sight is better than mine, but yeah, that's what will be on this gun. This nice little red dot. And then up to so to put it on, just need to get the Allen key. There we go. It should be loose enough. Depending where you want to put it yourself, right? Or with my son, I'm going to leave it there for him and he can tell me where to adjust it. It's so easy to adjust. All you do is tighten it on like I am now. without losing the Allen key. I'm not sure if you can see me tightening it. Hopefully you can. There we go. And then you do the other side too. It's suggested to have different size Allen keys as well, obviously, because everything is different sized throughout the guns and scopes and everything like that. So you could, if you wanted to, really, you could remove your iron sight here. This, I would say, just leave on the front one. But you can also take that off. I think it's the other side to take it off, is it? Might be wrong. Maybe you can't. I don't know. I'd have to find that one out. I'm sure you can, if being instructions, obviously. Then with this one, I have a different grip for it, foregrip. Just got to remember I put it down. See, this is another one of my guns. This is a SIG 552. I've had this quite a long time, to be fair. But I wanted a couple of M4s now instead to play with. I like the M4. Okay, so I'm definitely missing one of my ones. See what we got here. In there, please. In there too. Bear with me a second. There it is. We loosen this up. And I'll show you how this foregrip is different to the other one, obviously. Tighten it up like a noob. Bear with me a couple of seconds here, chat. We go. Stick this in there for a minute. Yeah, so this one here is my SIG 552. It did have a rear stock, but it snapped unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to look into how I'm gonna replace this. One of the shops I've spoken to said you can't replace it. I'm hoping that's false. But for now, I won't be using that one unless I was indoors. So there we go. See, this is why. Oh my God, what is going on with my phone today? So yeah, this is another foregrip. To use this one though, this is what you do. You click it in, and it's got two settings. One like this, so it's an angle sort of grip instead of a foregrip, and you got straight down for the actual proper foregrip. And again, this will be going on this gun. So let's make sure we get this back out. Put this up. And then again, you just follow to see where the hole fits nicely, because obviously each one of these rails will have a little hole for you to put grips and everything in. I'll zoom in on that in a minute. Put it on the wrong way around, look at that. Obviously, make sure you put it in the right way as well, chat. Otherwise, you're going to look like a pleb like me. Go. Just get ready to tighten this quick. And there we go. All connected. And again, I'll show you. So, I'm going to be putting the sling attachment on the back. It won't fit in that one, which is a shame. I would love to fit in there, but that's probably for a different kind of sling. Bear with me a second, chat. Damn it. Sorry about this, chat. There we go. That's the slinging. We've got the slinging so far. Now I'm just going to quickly put in the charm that I want to put on this gun frame. Go. That's his charm. So we have the sling one side, and then we have the charm the other side. Yep, there we go. So that's that gun sorted, as you can see. It does also come with a mag. The mag I put in the pouch for him already, so it can stretch out his rig that he'll be using. So I'll show you quickly my SIG 552. So with the magazine for this one, it is like a G36. The battery for this one, you'd have to take the pin out from here, like so, pull this one back, then lift this front passage up, like so. The battery would connect in here, and you see it back in. This one is a much smaller battery you would need. You can get all different size batteries nowadays, so it's not too much of a pain. Then you put the lid on again, lock this bit in, and then there you go, and it's in place. There's your selector again to see what if you want single fire or auto bursts. This is an ambidextrous, I can't pronounce it, select gear. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, depending, you've got them both ways. Again, you pull this back to look at your hop up, which is be there. Mags will go in there. There's your mag release. Right. And then that's that one. Again, you can also take the front of the muzzle off to change up what you want. Oh, give me a second, chat, and I'll get my gun now. There we go. So this is my M4 version. It is what are they called? I think it's the Pioneer Defender. So this was what I was on about. This is what they call a sock in airsoft. So now, no matter what the site I'm going to be going to, I will have to have this on when I'm in the safe zone. I'm guessing the reason for that, because I haven't been a long time, was because people kept their mags in and maybe loaded. Only thing I can think of really, in the safe zone, which is a no-no for everyone. You can't be doing that. That is silly. With this one, obviously, it's got, like I said to you, it's the metal one. Yes, this bit is plastic, but it's the inside that's the metal, which is very good to have instead. Yeah, and this scope on here is a 3x, but I want to swap it so I can have obviously this one on. I'll have at the front, and then here will be a 3x that I can drop off, and I can go into 1x. Yeah, the reason I want it like that is so I've got the distance, and then I've got close quarters. There's the metal bit I was on about, for the sling that you can add via removing this bit, which for some reason my one's not doing. My battery again is in the back. I've added this. The reason I added this was so I could have obviously my spare battery in there, or even two batteries, depending on how big the pouch is. I did once have a silencer for this, but it broke, so I left it there. Other than that, really, select fire is exactly the same. Semi, which is single fire, or auto fire. Yeah, magazines are M4s as well, obviously. My iron sight here is at the front here. Yeah, so that's what I used to have to use for my iron sight. It didn't have the back bit, it only had this bit, which is not an issue for me, really. Other than that, this gun I love so much. I'm just trying to work out why that's not moving in. I have to get them to have a look at this when I get to site, hopefully on Saturday. But I love this gun a lot. I don't know why, I really do. It's nice and obviously practical, and I'll be using this foregrip that I got with the Gen 2 Lancer Tactical. Instead, I don't like the foregrip there, but my son does, so I'm going to have this foregrip on this. And again, to do this one, it's just tighten there instead of having to use Allen keys or anything like that, which is always good. Oh, we dropped. Right, so other than that, guys, much appreciated for coming along. obviously watching me start off on Atomic Heart and losing it and raging quit on that, and then obviously playing some Ark which you couldn't see unfortunately, and then coming to show you my unboxing and my other guns. This is my little charm. I love it. Look, I'll show you now. Look at it. It's so pretty, pink and fluffy. Put the sock back on. Because this gun was new, the Gen 2 one, I need to buy a sock for it when I go on game day, which won't be a problem. They're obviously going to have loads of them due to they want to be safe. I just can't believe people ruin it for everyone. That's why you can't have nice things, chat. That's why we can't have nice things. Right, so that's the 3 guns there. I have got a sniper rifle as well, but I'm still working on that one a little bit. Does need a little bit of a look at again and again and again, mostly. Right, I'll be back in a minute, chat. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, please leave a comment on what I could improve on and that. I love to listen to your comments. But other than that, I hope you have a good day, good afternoon, or a good evening. But thank you for coming. Bye-bye.